And I am going to not take a ton of time to say hello. We're just going to get started. Hi, I see April on Instagram. Just recorded a whole message for you that you will get shortly. All right, let me just make sure everybody's here. Okay, great. People are coming in on the other channels. I'm going to just dive in because, as you know, I'm trying to keep to time on these, and I think it's pretty fun. Yesterday, Jackie Davies on Facebook was like, hey, this is like a little microdose of Tara 5 days a week. So I love that you guys are enjoying this. I am too. Hello, and welcome to these Spark sessions to start your year in an empire state of mind. My intention for these sessions is to give you a quick daily dose of illumination, a few epiphanies here and there, and a little dose of energy, just like a spark. I want you to also be thinking of this time that we've spent together this week as a long-range prescription of the tools that you'll need for this year. My name is Tara-Nicholle Kirke. They call me the metaphysician because I help you understand this universe and its laws and your role in it. I'm a master coach. I'm the author of The Transformational Consumer and the founder and CEO of Soul Tour. We are a coaching company and a school of life and self and business and money mastery, where the ambitious spiritual maximalists come to fulfill their potential, fulfill their dreams, build the empires they were born to build, and live the lives they were born to live. Sounds good? Sounds good to me too. All right, take a deep breath. Close your eyes right where you are for one moment. Feel very grounded and rooted where you are, anchored down to the center of the earth. As I give thanks that the divine genius plan for your life now comes to pass under grace, over calm seas, and in perfect, wonderful, surprising, and delightful ways. All is well in our world. All right. May our brains come fully online. May our minds become fully alert and come into this present moment. May our souls be awakened even 1 degree more by the time we spend together today, and may our hearts be in maximum receptive mode as we gather and learn to get today. And so it is. All right, take one last deep breath in your own time, open your eyes, and come back to the room as I just make a little tech check. Hey, Shiva's over on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, Facebook, let me know if you can hear me, if your audio is good, and let me know if there are any questions. I am going to try to do this again next month. If there are any questions you'd like me to answer, or any issues that are front of mind for you, just drop them in the chat and we'll check them out as we put together the programming for next month. All right, so today is our last day of Spark Week for January, and I wanted to share just 2 sparks for today, but they're big ones. All right. So the first is a tool that I call your identity code. All right, and it is. I read it every time I think of the identity code or help someone write one for themselves. I think about the story in the Tara Brach book, Radical Acceptance, where there's this little girl, like a 4 or 5-year-old little girl, and she's at a diner with her parents, and they sit down, and the waitress comes by and says to the little girl, hey, what would you like to eat, right? And the little girl's like, well, I'd like a hot dog and some fries and a Coke. And the parents say, no, she's going to have some meatloaf and mashed potatoes, green beans, and a milk. And the waitress is like, got it. Hot dog, fries, and a Coke. And the little girl says, she thinks I'm real. She thinks I'm real. Right? So for many of us, because of our conditioning, the programs, the trances of fear, scarcity, unworthiness, the lie of this culture that we've been living under for so long, we are actually the parents who don't act like our own true sacred self is real, right? I love that the psychologist Ross Greene says the only job a kid has is to learn their own gifts and talents and skills and challenges and likes and dislikes and desires and dreams and goals, and then to build a life that's congruent with that. All right. But that's not what our culture teaches. So for many of us, when we come into this self-mastery work of recalibrating, actualizing and aligning, that's my self-mastery method, we need to do some work on identity, on understanding who we really are and why we're really here, and recalibrating that so we can actualize and create a life that's congruent to that. sometimes you do the work and it doesn't feel, I used to think, God, I wish people would take me seriously. And at some point I realized everybody around me did take me seriously. I was the only one who didn't take me seriously. Does that resonate for anyone? Right? So we use this tool called the identity code to help recalibrate your own sense of who you are and why you're here in a way that magnetizes in and attracts in what the true sacred self version of you really wants when fear and scarcity and unworthiness and the cultural definitions of success are no longer running the show. All right. So some of you guys were here yesterday. You know that I do teach the human design system. And in human design, there's a center, an energy center called the G center. It is the seat of your soul. It is the seat of all love. It is a magnet that attracts in every resource, opportunity, person, and experience you need to learn how to be, do, have, create, experience, and learn what you came here to be, do, have, create, experience, or learn in this life, which is how to live in freedom, wholeness, joy, health, wealth, wisdom, love, creative power, creative self-expression. That's how you came here, what you came here for. So if you've ever been the kind of person who feels like the law of attraction doesn't really work for you, if you ever feel like you do all the work to create and you're still not creating what you want, it can be taught. That's a good sign that it's time to recalibrate your G center, and just know that the most powerful words you can ever use to recalibrate your G center to start attracting in what you really desire are the words I am. I am. I am is an imprinting phrase. It imprints on you and activates in this universe. It tunes the magnet within you to attract in whatever will fulfill the declarations you make, whatever you use to fill in the blank after I am is what you're tuning your magnet to draw into you from this universe. So if you fill in the blank, the I am blank, if you fill that blank in with afraid, struggling, broke, over it, that will become your reality. And many, 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 many of us have imprinted that on ourselves and on the universe for decades. But now we know better. And so now we can do better. And sovereignty is reclaiming and restating your I am and imprinting a new identity so that, like the baby ducks that imprint on the mama duck and just follow wherever she goes, you imprint on this universe and all the universal assistance is trying to get to you all the time. Follow me, abundance. Follow me, radical, radiant, electric health and well-being. Follow me, being loved. Things and people and experiences that feel like being loved, cherished, and adored come to me. All right. So that's the basis for the identity code tool. I really want to just give you 3 statements. I'm going to give you 3 I am statements and some fill in the blanks. And I want you to work on these after this. Feel free to, come back to the chat if you're on one of the social channels, or email us at concierge@soultour.com with your statements, and we'll stand in agreement with you. All right. 3 statements. And I want you to say these statements in the present tense, but I want them to represent the version of you desire to be in 3 years from now. Okay? 3 years from now. These are the things that you desire to be true about yourself. 3 years from now, I want you to start stating them. So I am statement number 1 is a statement about you and money. All right. And the statement usually just goes, when I do it with my clients, it's like this: I am an X dollar blank, fill in the blank for your profession. I am a $3 million realtor. I am a $1 million author. All right. I am a $250,000 coach. Whatever it is you desire to be, do, have in 3 years with respect to your income and your profession or your business. I am a blank dollar blank. Okay, fill those blanks in. And the I am statement number 2 is for you to claim what sort of spiritual, energetic flavor of brilliance of type of professional you want to step into being in your business or your industry. Okay. So this statement should answer the question, who would you be if you were totally committed to being the best at what you do, and if you were here knowing it is inevitable that you play at the highest level of your industry. So I just did one with a client, and hers kind of went like this. It's a little more than one sentence, but I'm going to read it because it's a nice example. I am a rainmaker and a business maker. So she works on multiple business. She's a business consultant. I'm a rainmaker and a business maker. I look for big potato projects. She's not playing small potatoes no more. I look for big potato projects to flow my life force and creative spark into. All right. So that's I am statement number 2 is what brilliant type of professional you want to step into being at the highest level of your industry. If you were totally committed to and knew it was totally inevitable that you are the best at what you do. And this is not about compared to anybody else, just you are the best. You are genius. All right. Genius is a good one. I'm a genius. I'm a genius coach to a secret society of badass boss ladies. That's me. All right. I am statement number 3 is for you to claim one wonderful reality that you live in. Remember, present tense, but as though we're talking about 3 years from now. One wonderful reality you live in your personal life. It can be your health. It can be your love life. It can be your family life. It can be whatever you choose. Example, and this is actually from mine from a while back. I am the joyful, sexy ass matriarch of a dancing family of dancing children. Okay, like that's the kind of energy I want my kids to have. It's like light, playful, joyful, a pervasive backdrop of ease so that they can dance. All right, so that's your identity code. Just write those 3 statements. Like I said, if you want to share them with someone you know will support you. Don't share them with your complaint buddies. Don't do that. And start speaking them every day and just watch what starts to happen. All right, so now I'm going to take the next probably 6 minutes and I'm going to talk to you about transformational consumer trends. So some of you who've known me for a while know that the transformational consumer is a framework I created about 10 years ago, using everything I'd learned over a career of helping grow transformational businesses like MyFitnessPal, like ING Direct, which is now part of Capital One, like HGTV, like Trulia.com, the real estate search engine. My intention was to help companies engage with lifelong love affairs with their customers through the lens of the most ancient human aspirations, which are the desires that people have to live healthier. This is what a transformational consumer is. It's the people who see their lives as a series of projects to upgrade their lives for the healthier, wealthier, and wiser. And transformational consumers happily invest their time and their money and their energy on the products and services and content that help them upgrade their lives in these ways. Okay, so about 50 or 60% of American consumers are transformational consumers. About, back when I wrote the book in 2017, about $4 trillion were being spent on transformational consumers, transformational desires. So I'm going to share with you just a really quick hits on what I think the transformational consumer trends will be for this year and probably, maybe the next 2-3 years. But I'll tell you, I'm sharing this with you because many of you are entrepreneurs who market to and serve transformational consumers. And I'm sharing this with you because almost everyone who comes onto a kind of call like this is actually a transformational consumer. So both you and your best fit customers are transformational consumers. All right. And if you guys want me to do a longer form deep dive into the transformational consumer trends and insights, you probably should join Upgrade or should join Empires, because the Empires people will get a very deep dive into these trends so that they may use them in their businesses. All right. Trend number 1 is this is an era. I am declaring that we are now entering the era of alignment. Now in 2019, or early 2020, I started to say, this is going to be a great reset. I published an article in Yoga Journal at the beginning of 2020 saying this is going to be a great reset. And I think we saw that with the quiet quitting and the great resignation, all of that. I'm now declaring that there is a great recalibration, and it is on. It will be a time of the great search for meaning and fulfillment. People will seek in larger and larger numbers, not just the fringe ones of us who've always been on this edge. Larger and larger numbers of people are going to be seeking meaning, fulfillment, desiring to create highly aligned, highly meaningful, highly fulfilling new careers, new businesses, new realities, new lives. This is really a shift in the metrics that our culture will call success. We're going to shift from a time in which all the metrics were numeric. What's the number on the scale? What's the number in your bank account? What's your income? What's your age? We're coming into an era where nobody's going to give a shit about that over time. All right. The new metrics are going to be well-being. How much time do you get to spend with the people you love will become a metric for success. How fulfilled do you feel? How much self-respect do you have because you like the way you live your life and the way you spend your time is aligned with what you care about the most, right? How much self-respect do you feel because you have left perfectionism in the pre-pandemic time in which it belongs, and you now feel empowered and emboldened to go out and take the risk and pitch your biggest, brightest ideas freely and boldly and let the chips fall where they may. So this is about a new metric of success. I'm calling it the alignment first metric of success. And the era of recalibration with alignment as the ideal is on. All right. In terms of the influences and influencers that will be important to transformational consumers, I am saying that this is an era in which deep will call unto deep. All right. It's the surface, cute silliness that we see all over social media is going to get to be a little less the flavor and tone of everything on social media, as the deep teachers who have all been out here all this time are going to, in this next season, start showing up on social media in really new, deep, quietly powerful ways. People are going to be seeking a new level of depth to their inner work. I think we went through an era in the early pandemic where it was like calling BS on spiritual bypassing, which was good. So Love and Light Brigade was out, shadow work was in, but then I think a bunch of people got stuck in the shadows and in the trauma and in just processing and rehashing the trauma. And I think now we're going to come into an era of integration, right? So where it's not just we got to process and rehash forever, or we got to stay in light and we have to kind of go back and forth from shadow to light. This is going to become a time of integration, because the ultimate influencer that I think is going to play a big role in people's mindset and what they seek to do, what they seek guidance for, what they look for content for, what they look to buy, the ultimate influencer in this year is going to be death. Death is going to be the new, sorry to the Kardashians. They'll still be popular. Death is going to be the ultimate influence for transformational consumers. And I say this in a non-morbid at all way. I'm just going to say it like it is. Some of the good ones didn't make it to 2023. And your transformational consumers have seen that and know that. And they're like, hey, wait, if I'm still here, I'm here to play the creation game. I'm here to play the game of life and learn how to win it. There's a strong current of, if not now, when, in transformational consumer land right now. All right. So people are going to be desiring the content, the products, the coaches that help them actually dive in and do the things they've always wanted to do, because if they can't do them now, when will they do them? All right. And then I'm going to skip over a couple. I think there's going to be a lot of integration. Again, integrations of old and new, integrations of new thought and quantum physics integration. Human design is on trend this year, finally. And it is itself an integration of it's an integration of astrology, of the I Ching, the Chinese Book of Changes, of the Kabbalah tree of life, right? There are all these other old spiritual wisdom systems that have now been integrated into human design. Um, and then I guess I'll end with this spiritual trend that I'm starting to see, and I will codify in more detail, that I'm calling the require more revolution. All right. I don't think there was the old self shaming idea that the road to happiness is just paved with wanting less. How to get happy is to want less. And I think in this coming season, you will see the transformational consumers reject that and start requiring more instead. We're going to require more from our mates, from our families. We're going to require more support. We're going to be requiring more from our doctors, our employers, our employees. We're going to require more from the brands and products we engage with. And we're going to require more from our countries. So one trend that you're going to see, if you're not Black, you may not know it, but there is a movement called Black Sit, which is a movement of Black Americans leaving the United States. I'm also seeing a lot of families begin to leave the United States as we require more for our children than what this culture is presently delivering. And so it's an interesting thing because it's an activist energy, but it's really quiet and peaceful. It's not about we got to make them be how we want them to be. It's about this is a big world and I require and get to desire what I want. And somewhere in the world, I can have that now without changing a whole bunch of other people who don't desire to change, right? And I think lastly, we're going to require more from ourselves. We're going to upgrade our dreams and give ourselves permission to dream the dream that we really dream. We're going to stand up and take risks we wouldn't have taken before. And as you know, I am already seeing entrepreneurs raising their hand that they want to stop building small shit and stop working their heart out to create a life that they hate so they can start building the empires of their soul. All right, so I'll close there. And that's what we do at Soul Tour. We help you build the empire of your soul we offer business mastery, life mastery, self mastery, and money mastery for the transformational authors and leaders and entrepreneurs and those who have a calling to do those things who don't necessarily even know yet clearly what their empire of the soul actually is. All right. So if you desire a single cohesive roadmap for your business spiritual growth, if you desire coaching and consulting and community and mentorship, if you've been waiting for a sign or an invitation that it's finally time to start building the empire you're born to build, this is your sign and your invitation. And if you think you'd like my help and my team's help, if you're on the live stream page on soultour.com/spark sessions, just click the button there and book a call with Team Tara. If you're not, go to soultour.com and /apply. Soul, SOULTOUR.com/apply. All right. May divine order be established in your mind, your body, and your affairs as fast as can be done joyfully. May you begin to experience overnight, sustained avalanches of abundance in wonderful ways. And so it is. I love you. Enjoy the perfect unfolding of your 2023, y'all. I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Actually, if you're not on my email list, you should come get on it so you can make sure that you are notified before the next series of Spark sessions we do. You can get on the email list at soultour.com/sign up. All right.